Hey there. Look, I know you're busy. I am too. It's Monday after all, and most of us are just going, and trying to make it all balanced throughout the day, right? Well, did you eat breakfast this morning? If you didn't, here's a really simple and easy recipe. Today, I'm going to feature my first recipe out of my October plant-based made easy cookbook. That's right here. If you guys want to download this, we'll drop the link in the comment box. Today, we're going to show you how to make a really simple and healthy and delicious breakfast. You can put this together in a matter of minutes, and this recipe is perfect for meal prepping. I'm going to show you how to make pumpkin spice pancakes. It's October after all, and so we're going to be featuring a lot of seasonal pumpkin ingredients, lots of great spices, delicious herbs, and lots of different produce throughout the month of October. I'm so excited. Let's get started, all right? So we're going to begin with the dry mix of the pumpkin spice pancakes. The first ingredient that we need is whole wheat flour. Now I'm going to show you a couple options for all the ingredients. Here's what I'm using. I'm going to use 100% stone ground whole wheat pastry flour. Now you can get this at most grocery stores, definitely health food stores. I like it because it's stone ground. It's really, really yummy. You can really kind of taste the mineraliness in the pastry flour itself. And the reason I got pastry flour as opposed to regular whole wheat flour is because it's milled to be a little bit finer, which means that your pumpkin pancakes or anything that you're using this flour with is going to take on a more delicate, light texture. Really good stuff. Now, if you don't want whole wheat, you can use all-purpose, but just know you're not going to get as much nutrients. And if you want a jam-pack of nutrients, try the organic sprouted white wheat flour. You can get this at a lot of different places. Again, whole health food stores, as well as Thrive Market. That's where this comes from. It's really good stuff. And anything sprouted, when you see this term sprouted, it means that the nutrients are going to be more bioavailable in your gut microbiome and throughout all of your body to all your vital organs. So sprouting actually makes this even more super nutrient dense. It's really good for us. And you can sprout lots of different things. So you can actually even do a combination of flours, but we're going to use 1 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour. Now we need a leavening agent. I'm going to use baking powder today, just regular baking powder, 1 tablespoon of this. And we aren't going to use eggs because this is plant-based after all. And so we're actually going to use flaxseed meal. That's our next ingredient. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Now this is flaxseed that's been ground up to a flour form, and it's usually called flaxseed meal. And that's the word that indicates it's ground, okay? I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of the ground flaxseed or flaxseed meal. And let me show you what it looks like before I just throw it right in. Dan, will you do an overhead cam for us? Yeah. Look at that. It's super nutty. It's going to have a ton of omega-3 fatty acids, high in iron, high in protein, really good for us. And so I'm going to add a tablespoon, and this is going to sort of be the egg substitute. When it mixes with the wet ingredients, the flaxseed in and of itself is going to get jelly-like, and it's going to be really delicious. All right, now I want some flavor agents. I'm going to use some pumpkin pie spice, which I absolutely love this time of year. This comes from Trader Joe's. And I'm also going to use some ground organic cinnamon. This is new that Trader Joe's is offering organic spices. Yum. I got so excited that I actually did a story on Instagram for it because I love when they have new ingredients at their store. So I'm going to use of the pumpkin pie spice, 1 teaspoon, and then of the cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon. And you can make this your own. Let's say you really like ground ginger, or let's say you really like cardamom. Go ahead and use any of these spices, and you can use as a replacement for the cinnamon, you can use cardamom, cloves, allspice, ginger, whatever you want. That pumpkin pie spice, though, is kind of like perfect, and it works really well with the pumpkin that we're going to add to the wet ingredients. So definitely use the pumpkin. And I want 1/2 teaspoon of the other spices. Like I said, I'm going to use organic cinnamon. Kind of like double cinnamony. It's in the pumpkin spice mix, pumpkin pie spice mix, and it's in the cinnamon, obviously. Really good stuff. I love cinnamon. Cinnamon's really great. It curbs your appetite. So if you have it in things, it's going to actually keep you feeling satiated for a lot longer. It's really good for that. All right, I also want a little bit of sea salt. I'm going to use 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. I love this stuff, you guys. I was such a kosher salt gal before. I trained using kosher salt as a chef, and meaning I went to school, and in school we only used 1 salt. It was kosher salt. And so you really learn when you're training as a chef to feel for that texture and that grind of salt. But I've switched to sea salt because it's less processed, and I actually like that it's kind of more fine. It's really great. I'm going to use 1/4 teaspoon, and you can leave it out if you're salt free. Totally leave it out. So that's our dry ingredient mix. I'm just going to give this a quick blend with my spoon just to make sure everything comes together nicely and I don't see any big giant chunks of baking powder. Perfect. Totally good. All right, let's make the wet ingredients. I'll do it in a glass bowl so that you can follow along. The first thing that I want is pumpkin puree. I love pumpkin puree. I'm going to show you that this is what I'm going to use today. This is organic pumpkin from Thrive Market. I'll show you here on top too. It is non-GMO project verified, which means there are no genetically modified organisms within the pumpkin that is contained in the can, and it is USDA organic. This can be sometimes hard to find though, especially right now because during COVID, people go to the market and they just like gorge. They just like buy 10 cans of pumpkin and all of a sudden there's not enough for the rest of us. If you can't find pumpkin, a really great substitute is sweet potato. I'm going to show you in the front cam. And here's a cool little trick, you guys. Most of us don't know this, but I'm going to share this with you. Did you know that organic pumpkin here in the United States, we cannot and do not grow enough pumpkin in the United States to create the demand for the canned variety that is used so heavily in the October-November months. So organic pumpkin generally is made with a blend of sweet potato, butternut squash, and pumpkin mixed together. And sometimes it's just sweet potato, but they market it as pumpkin. So same, it doesn't matter. And if you can't find either of these in the can, guess what you get to do? You get to take a sweet potato or a pumpkin from scratch and you can roast it off or you can steam it and then you can just puree it with a fork or in your food processor. It's all the same and it doesn't matter. So let's use the pumpkin because we have it. I feel so lucky. I went to 2 grocery stores, by the way, to try to nail down a can of pumpkin. And I'm going to use half a cup. Let me grab a half a cup, actually. I'm not going to eyeball it. I'm going to really do it. Here's my half a cup, and I think what I'll do is actually just spoon it out, and then I'm going to make it pretty level. And I love canned pumpkin this time of year because it can be so versatile. You can use it in a lot of different things. Obviously, baking, quick breads like we're doing today with pancakes. You can actually also put it in smoothies, in dressings. It's really good stuff. So I'm going to use half a cup of the pumpkin puree, and I have a good level amount here. It's bright and gorgeous and orange. Yum. I'm totally mesmerized by really vibrant colored produce. I feel like I have a new relationship with food now that I'm plant-based. You guys feel this way? I mean, it's crazy. I feel like I have a new relationship with it. Like I actually like crave it. I can't wait till the next meal or the next snack or the next opportunity I can like play with food or experiment with a recipe. So, and I like kind of stare at food now in a different way. It's totally cool. I love it. All right. The next thing that I want is plant milk. Now, some of you joined me last week when I made a demonstration of how I make my plant milk. This is cocoa, cash milk, coconut, and cashew. If you want this recipe, the cocoa cash recipe for this plant milk is in my monthly plant-based made easy cookbook. It doesn't matter what month you buy. Hopefully you buy all of them because all of the other recipes are the same, but there are 4 staple recipes that all of the other recipes are different, but there are 4 staple recipes that are the same. And that's the yogurt, the mozzarella cheese, the milk, and the bread. I make these really super simple for you so you can save money, save stress, and have a delicious option that's homemade. And I'm going to use, let's do a comment. Natalie. Hi, Natalie. Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming back. Bought the October cookbook last week, opened it up this morning when it came through, and I'm super excited about these recipes. Thanks, lady. I really appreciate it. Let me know if you make any that really stand out to you. You let a sister know. You guys can always get a hold of me in the DM or on our Facebook group. And it's so fun to hear about your journey in going plant-based or experimenting. So please let me know what you love or what you made your own. If you took one of my recipes and you made it perfect for your family, share it with us, will you? All right, I'm going to use 1 cup of this plant milk. And I'm going to actually measure this out in a liquid measure, you guys. It's kind of important for liquid ingredients to do this. I want 1 full cup. And in culinary school, they used to be like, go down and look at the line and make sure that like it's at the line, because you know when you're looking over something, it sometimes is deceiving. You can't actually see, have I hit that little line where it says 1 cup, or is it just over or just under? So get low, get right at eye level, and then check, have I hit the line? And I have. I want 1 cup of this, go ahead and put it in. And then the next thing I want is a flavor agent even here. I'm gonna use vanilla extract, because it's my favorite, but you can use anything. Almond extract, even lemon extract, orange extract, just a tiny bit for any of those. Vanilla extract is really user-friendly, multi-purpose. It kind of goes with everything. It's sort of like a nice rounding element in terms of the flavor. So it really does go with quite a lot. I'm going to use 1 full teaspoon of this. Go ahead and measure it. Why not? 1 and 2. This is a half a teaspoon. So there you go. That's 1 full teaspoon. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm using alcohol-free vanilla extract, you guys. I often talk about this, but I just want to mention it each time. Sometimes you'll see me use like a bourbon-flavored vanilla extract, but those flavored ones usually have alcohol in it. But I really like the alcohol-free version because A, I don't drink alcohol anymore, that is, and I really like not having alcohol in any of my food so that I can actually taste the food, especially for the vanilla extract. You can actually taste more vanilla-y flavor if it's alcohol-free, and it's just about the same price, so it's perfect. And then last but not least, you notice we didn't use any sugar in this recipe and we didn't use any oil in this recipe. Very standard ingredients for pancake, right? Well, we're going to knock both birds with one stone with our last ingredient, and we're going to use unsweetened applesauce. Oh, I had to tape the label because it came off. I'm going to use unsweetened applesauce. Look, it always kind of comes off because it condensates in my refrigerator. And I'm just showing you the bad side. Let me show you the good side. Ta-da! All right, no tape, no chef's tape. Unsweetened applesauce, this is organic. This stuff is so good. If you are oil-free and you need a replacement for that oil in any of your baked goods, applesauce is gonna be your friend. Unsweetened is gonna make it super moist and it's gonna make it sweet. So it's really important. I'm gonna use half a cup of this and I'm just gonna pour it right into that same cup that I measured out my pumpkin with and throw it in. Now, this makes quite a lot of pancake batter, as you can see. This is a good thing because, like I said, it's really perfect for meal prepping. And I really mean that. Pancakes are one of the coolest sort of breakfasts for meal prepping because I think what you can do is make the whole batch of batter and then you can griddle off all of your pancakes, cook them off. And then you can save them in stasher bags or wrapped in sustainable wrap or Ziploc bags or whatever you use. Hopefully it's the more sustainable versions. And you can actually store them in the refrigerator or the freezer. I highly recommend the freezer if you're not going to eat them right away. And then just pull out like 2 or 3 pancakes at a time as needed. And then you guys, what I do is I pop the pancakes right in the toaster, like the toaster where I would toast my bread or my bagels. And what you end up getting is you get these popped up pancakes that are totally yummy and warm and ready for maple syrup and butter. All right, so you can see this is looking really good. That's my wet ingredient mix. Here's my dry ingredient mix. Let me clear my decks. I'm gonna pour in my dry to my wet, and I have a whisk and I have a spatula. God, this color is gorgeous. Gorgeous, absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. All right, now I think I'll use the whisk first. The whisk kind of helps at first to remove all the lumps, and then I'll finish it with the spatula. And one of my favorite tricks that my Grandma Millie taught me, because my Grandma Millie and I would make pancakes often. Every time I would spend the night at her house, we would wake up and we would have pancakes from the Bisquick box, and we would have bacon, regular bacon. That was back in the day. Not anymore, Granny. My grandma is now totally vegan. She just had her 83rd birthday, and we're always talking about like, oh, we can do our classic ingredients, but just veganize it. We can just plant-base it. We can make it really a lot healthier. And my grandma she taught me this trick. Pour your ingredients in either use a ladle or pour your ingredients in your liquid measuring cup, and then you can literally pour it right into your pan, and it works really well. So I have taken out most of the lumps here. It's going to kind of be lumpy and chunky a little bit because it's applesauce and it's flaxseed and it's pumpkin, which is not super duper smooth. But do you see how delicious this looks? Pour it into my liquid measuring cup, or really any measuring cup with a spout. You can see the baking powder is really activated. It's getting nice and puffy. And you want to cook these up right away. All right, so let's do that. And if you guys have questions, you let me know. Okay, I see a couple people. Oh, here's a comment. This comes from Cheryl Baker. I do not know that about pumpkin and sweet potato. Okay, good. I'm glad that I educated you. And thank you for sharing, as it's very helpful. Another reason that you like this show and you like me. Thank you so much, Cheryl. I appreciate you. Cheryl, I don't know if you know this, but you mean a lot to us too, Danny and I, because you were one of the first people that ever bought our first cookbook about 3 months ago. So we thank you, and you've been here along with us throughout the whole ride. All right, so I have my pan here right next to me. I think I'm just gonna do an overhead for the whole rest of this so that you can actually follow along, unless there's a question. And I really just wanna get this nice and hot, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of oil or butter. I think I'm gonna use a little bit of butter today, because why the heck not? If you're oil-free, find your favorite oil-free substitute here to griddle your pancakes. Here's what I'm using. This is cultured vegan butter, excuse me, right here. This comes from Miyoko's. Do you guys love Miyoko as much as I do? She is a cook in her own right. She has an amazing line of products, like Miyoko's Creamery is the brand. They do butter, they do cheese wheels, they do cream cheese. They do so many great things. And you guys, this term vegan butter used to be illegal here in the United States. And Miyoko sits on the board of the Plant-Based Food Association and just worked to get legislation approved to have her butter labeled vegan. I'm very proud of her, and this is a huge thing for the vegan world. These are little wins, you guys, little wins. We got to celebrate the whole thing. We got to celebrate this journey. All right, so I have my butter down. It's getting nice and bubbly. It's perfect. This is exactly what I want. At this point, I'm just gonna throw down my pancakes. I think I'll make them a little kind of small pancakes. And I don't worry about the like shape. I try not to worry about the shape. I'm laughing because like I say this to my coaching clients too. Try not to worry about the shape of your body, right? It's like, it's what's inside that counts. All right, I'm gonna make 4 delicious pancakes. This is gonna make, my guess is this will make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, probably about 20 kind of like silver dollar or medium-sized pancakes. And it's gonna be really great for meal prepping. So what is that? If you had 4 a day, you have breakfast for a full week. I mean, that's kind of amazing. Think about it. I love this. And I can tell right away, the butter is going to start to brown. This butter, you guys, it actually acts just like cow's milk butter. It browns, it bubbles. It is so good. If you didn't have butter here, you could use coconut oil, or you could use a little avocado oil. I'll show you. Here's the avocado oil that you would want, something neutral kind of like this, but coconut oil would be also really, really good. Yeah, let's do another comment. Nina said, hi, Chef. I made the tofu scramble today for lunch. It was delicious. Oh, I love that you made it for lunch, Nina. That's awesome. It actually is a really good lunch recipe. I have some left over from when I made it. And I was thinking about putting it over like mescalin mix or like baby greens, and then just like tossing it with the light vinaigrette. How was it for lunch? Like, how did you enjoy it? Did you have it with toast or fruit or anything else? That was a good recipe. I like that one a lot. Yeah, let's do a question. Cheryl says, is that a little thicker than most pancake batters? I'm so glad that you noticed, Cheryl. It is. It's more thick because, again, there's no sugar and oil, which is really going to like flatten out and make traditional pancake batters heavier. It's fluffier and lighter and more like vegetal. It's really nice. It's maybe in this case, you might only eat like 3 at a time. I don't know. It depends on your hunger level. But do you see how springy they are? Do you see how puffy and delicious they are? You guys, this recipe, it's a good one. The baking powder really helps to have nice, active baking powder. Make sure that it's not past its prime, you know? Nina had it with toast. Nice, Nina. I love it. I love that you had it for lunch. Thank you for sharing that. All right, I'm flipping this one. So because there's no oil and there's no sugar, you know, you're traditionally in a pancake griddling, you're looking for little tiny bubbles around the surface. Yeah? You guys know that trick? Little tiny bubbles around the surface. But because there's no oil and there's no sugar, it's actually not going to create little bubbles. All you're going to see is that these are going to get to nice and tall. They start to like puff up. And that's what you're looking for. So it's a kind of a different indicator, a different cooking indicator. But you'll know. You'll know. It will tell you. It will for sure tell you. Now, I'm not going to cook all of these. I'll just cook these 4 because I just wanted to give you, kind of let you see the hang of it. Simple, easy. I will tell you right now, these are getting a little browner because I'm using butter, plant-based butter, or vegan butter. I can say that now. Woohoo! If you didn't want it to get so hot and brown on the outside, or even in the pan, what you can do just use is a little coconut oil that has a higher smoke point than the vegan butter. And that'll really prevent it from getting too dark. But you know what? I don't mind. This looks golden brown and delicious, as they say, as those chefs say. GBD, golden brown and delicious. Now, I didn't make that up. Somebody else did, but I love it. GBD, that's what we want. All right, I think I'm going to plate this up now. These are looking great. The reason I know it's ready is because A, I can touch them and they spring back, which is a good sign. If they don't spring back and your finger kind of pushes through, it means the batter inside is still raw. Kind of just think about that, right? And so if it springs back, it's done. I can also just check the undersurface. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's great. Perfect. I'm going to just cut the heat right away, and then I'll plate them. I think I'll just do 3. And I'm going to put a little butter on each.
I'm surprised you didn't make a Mickey.
Oh, I could have made a Mickey. That would have been good. Just a little tiny butter on each. Don't tell. Look how gorgeous these are. The color. Of course, you can use any topping that you want. You can use yogurt. You can use butter. You can use jam, jelly, chutney. It doesn't matter. Will you guys just look at this? Oh, this butter. Yum, yum, yum. All right, how about a little bit of organic maple syrup? Because I want to and because I can. Love organic maple syrup. A delicious sugar substance right from the tree. Grade A, amber color. I'm just showing you. It has all the labels, USDA and everything. The World Global Alliance quality check label as well. This comes from Trader Joe's. Maple syrup is so good, and it's good for you. It has trace minerals from the tree, from the maple tree. Yum, yum, yum. Oh, no, I need a little bit more maple syrup in this. I'm sorry. That's just not enough. Do you guys see what I did? That's just not quite there. Not quite giving it as much as I want. There we go. A couple tablespoons. Will you guys look at this? Come on. So good. This looks unbelievably good. I would wake up for this every single morning with so much joy in my heart, ready for pumpkin spice pancakes. Yum, you guys. I have to take a little bite. Do you mind? This one's for the photo. I'm going to take a little bite of this. You better believe it. Dunk of the maple syrup. Oh my God. You guys, I was so excited for that pumpkin spice pancake that I forgot to give this food a little gratitude. I want to just give it now. Post bite. Thank you, God. Thank you, food. Yum. These are so delicious. Absolutely must try. I hope that you love them as much as I do. That's all I have for you today. These are delicious. These are perfect. Seriously, I could make these all year round. If you can find canned pumpkin or sweet potato any time of year that's canned, or if you can make it yourself, you can have these all the time. And don't be fooled. Pumpkin is not just for October or for November. It is full, like jam-packed of vitamins. Because it is really super orange, pigmented, and beautiful in color, that's a great indicator that it's very healthy for us. It's definitely one of the colors of the rainbow. So enjoy ad libitum, as they say, or without restriction, all of the colorful and vibrant and living fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, tubers, all of it. This is good, you guys. Make it your own. Take a photo, post it in the Facebook group, will you? I would love to see your creations. And come back for more. Tomorrow, we're going to be making our lunch recipe. I'm going to be making a delicious miso, greens, and beans bowl. This is a perfect lunch. It has everything you need for a complete plate. It's going to be really good. So I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy, and ciao for now. Peace. Bye, guys.